Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run the counter. Turner. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. From the 44, Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They'll run on first down. Muhammad. He's got the first down inside the 10. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the
blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock is...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Ito Smith, his first carry, and he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down now. It's Smith, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
I know he ain't got it. Check 13. Check 13. 49. Check 49.
Gotta go. In and out. Let's go. Reload.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There's a hush indeed. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
On 2nd and 1, Wentz. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
31 to Mike. Push him back. Push him back. Rush in. Rush in.
Now Wentz.
Undercut.
And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just...
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
With it is Jackson. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach.
Deshaun Jackson off to the races. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Touchdown.
Deshaun Jackson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, but it'll be second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in Hampshire Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the...
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. That's caught by Jackson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run with Muhammad. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 46-yard line.
On 2nd and a yard, Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 37. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. In that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
14.
On third down, Wilson. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. On the return, Jackson. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Let's go, defense.
On third and long, it's Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 89. Run. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways. Either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. On first down, Muhammad able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Keep playing hard. Let's get it.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Wentz. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. They'll run on first down. Muhammad. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. To throw is Wentz. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receiver.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz as his guys continue to pour it on. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their...
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Shotgun now for Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Gano the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown of the game and fourth on the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead will swell by one more. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about it.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Malik Jackson picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Third and long, it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. That's complete to Smith. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go, rush coming, and he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's the backup Winston. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Even. 4 down. Even. Hey, watch number 33.
Now Wentz. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Muhammad. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, Winston. And this is caught by Jackson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line.
30.
And an Eagle first down.
Sonic. 31's the mic. Here we go. 6. 31's the mic.
Here we go, even.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house. Hey, watch edge.
From the red zone now, Winston. It's caught by Jackson. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Green, triple team.
31's the mic.
No gain on this.
Winston here to throw. Dancing to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
31.
Winston from the gun on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes, Coach, say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit no matter what the battle is. We're going to finish this thing out.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Seattle, so long, everybody.